long-ass flight back to New York, and then landed at JFK, Ubered to my art history final with my bags. They like handed me the paper of the final. I looked at it, like no idea what the fuck was going on. I just like handed it back and I was like, I'm dropping out. like the whole class was like, what? Let's go. I think like, yeah, a lot of my first shoots where I was like getting paid and like not much, but were like clothing company lookbooks. So I was like meeting all these like streetwear people just by like working at Undefeated, and like people around me were starting brands, and I guess I had like a talent at it more than like I initially thought. I never really thought about that. I was just like, I'm just having fun, you know? I think that was definitely a step into like taking it more seriously and like realizing there's something there. Yeah, so yeah, I guess when I was like 16, I went to New York. I ended up getting super lost on this train and then going up to some dude who was holding a camera. He just like looked cool, had like writing all over his jeans and was like holding a camera, and I was like, yo, can you please help me get where I'm going? I have no idea how to get there. He's like, yeah, I'm Haji. And I was like, word? Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And he like was super nice, and he like goes out of his way to like show me like where I'm going, fully out of his way. Fast forward like 3 years later, or even less, like 2 years later, we're both in like A$AP Rocky's basement, like working on a thing together. I guess in this theme of the A$AP dudes, we did a really fun project. Rocky and I like shot this Klarna campaign in Bulgaria, which was just like so fucking fun, because like Bulgaria is this insane place. They built like an entire New York City set in Bulgaria, and it was just like me, Rocky, and Skepta out there for like 4 days. It was just cheaper to shoot out there, and like it was like the biggest budget thing I've done, and it was like a very like full circle moment with Rocky, because I was like went from this stuff like being the lowbrow to like we just did a global campaign, and like we all got paid very well, and he didn't even hire me. It's probably like the biggest like commercial photo thing I've done still. It was like fucking everywhere for like months, and yeah, it was like funny full circle thing. I think like every time I drop a project, I'm like, I feel like I'm not able to like fully be hyped on it, and like I'm never like satisfied with my work fully, and I'm always just like, oh, I could do better, I could go harder, or like I'm just kind of always in the mix of so many different projects that it's like when something drops, like I already finished it 3 months ago, so I'm just like, whatever. Like, cool, like it's in the world.
I'm shooting a little extra large ad. Shout out XL Japan. Aidan? Yeah. This is my good friend from the Sandbox. We grew up together.
How do you find models?
Pornhub. No, I'm kidding.
Guilty. All right,
He was on page 94 and he saw him.
I'm trying to think of other fun. Yeah, like the first album cover I did for Trippie Redd was I really loved, and it was like for this album called A Love Letter to You4, and I became his full-time creative director for like 2 years, and the album went #1, and it was the first time I shot an album cover that went #1, and that was pretty cool. And I don't know, it was like first year dropping out of college, and like I'm running around New York and I have like $100 in my checking account, and I'm just like, I hope someone hires me. And like I was literally just like working my ass off, meeting all these people, shooting for way less than I should be shooting for, and just like hustling, and yeah, just like not knowing if like I'm gonna get paid in 1 week or a month because companies are annoying, and like it was just like a whole year of that, which was like, it's always scary, and and I didn't really have like a safety net with like parents that have a bunch of money or whatever, so it was just like, you gotta fucking figure it out. The Dad Steppers. What are we shooting? We're shooting a lookbook for the homies. They have a brand called Extra Large from Japan. Very OG brand from 90s, 2000s. I met Omar when I was a freshman at NYU. I knew his manager, the homie Dylan. And he was like, yo, I have this kid that like I just started managing. He's super fire. He's dropped a few songs on SoundCloud, and he's amazing. And like he just quit working at McDonald's, and he's coming to New York to like meet me, and you should take some photos of him. And I was like, cool, like whatever you say, I'm down. And I listened to Omar's song that he dropped, and it was really cool. And then yeah, we ended up shooting photos in the NYU studio, photo studio, which was funny. And those photos became the cover for like his first EP called Stereo. And then, yeah, like his first like press photos for Spotify and Apple. And we just ended up becoming like super close right away. And he was like staying at my crib, and he was just like the nicest dude. And we just like got along so well. And then, yeah, by the end of that trip, he was like, "Do you want to be my creative director?" And I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Like, yeah, I'm down. So it's my new office for my new company called Nova, which I'm super excited about. Started with my friend Alex, and we've been like secretly working on it for like 10 months now. Essentially Nova is like a creative tech platform to connect freelance artists for production. So, for example, like I'm in LA and I'm like, hey, I'm doing like an album cover shoot for this guy this weekend, and like I need a lighting person, I need a digitech, and then I need a photo retoucher. Or like I'm in New York and I need a DP and a gaffer and a stylist and a makeup artist for this music video. And it's essentially like a job board mixed with like a portfolio for your work as an artist, mixed with like a way to like kind of just like do these curated searches for certain positions, which doesn't exist. And yeah, like you can pay people through the platform, and like in a year, like we're partnering with this really cool fintech company, and as a creative, you're gonna be able to get fronted money. So it's like if I'm owed $10,000 by like Adidas, like you can get paid like $9,700 the next day on our platform, and then like Adidas will pay us 3 months later. So like, you know, someone like me during like my hustle fucking years where I was like had $100 and needed to pay rent tomorrow, like shit like this would have been insane.
Why you not here with me? Can you break bread with me? Why you switch phone numbers like clothes? Why you can't answer me?
And you come up and you're just like hella hungry to work and just become bigger or whatever. Yeah, you get like into this cycle of people asking for favors, and you're doing shitty projects, and rappers are fucking taking advantage of you or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, don't be afraid to say no. And like every time you say no, there's probably 3 more opportunities that are gonna come your way. And at a certain point, definitely got to start curating your brand and as like an artist. And I think that's super important. And yeah, don't be afraid to like work on things that you're really excited about. And I'm thankful that I'm in a spot now where I can say no to like most things, and I'm like able to like make a living still. So it took me like 8 years to get here, but the last 2 years I've been working a shit ton on saying no and just doing the right projects, and like not being too thirsty for certain things. And yeah, I think just like really deciding like what you want to come off as, and yeah, it's important to have like a perspective on your career.